The village remembers that day as if it happened just yesterday. The air was thick with whispers, and the courtyard glowed softly beneath the flickering lamps. Let me take you back to the beginning, when the streets were bright with sunlight, laughter drifted through the village, and hope filled the air. It all began when the master of the great estate announced his journey. He was a man known across the region, wise, powerful, and trusted by many. Before he departed, he called 3 of his servants to stand before him. To the first, he entrusted 5 bags of gold, more wealth than most could imagine. To the second, he gave 2 bags, still a great treasure. And to the third, he handed 1 bag of gold, a single shining talent, yet valuable beyond measure. Then, without delay, the master gathered his robes, mounted his caravan, and vanished into the distant hills, leaving behind the village and the weight of great responsibility. As the days passed, the first servant wasted no time. With energy in his step, he set out across the markets and fields, trading, investing, and working tirelessly. His days were long, but his efforts paid off. Soon, his 5 bags became 6, then 8, then 10. The second servant moved more quietly, yet with steady hands. He watched carefully, choosing where to place his treasure. Through patient work and careful choices, his 2 bags soon grew into 4. But the third servant was different. Fear gripped his heart. He gazed at the shimmering coin in his hand and felt nothing but dread. He could not bear the risk of losing it. So, with shaking hands, he walked outside the village, found a hidden place beneath an old olive tree, and dug a hole deep into the earth. There, in the darkness, he buried the treasure and walked away. Seasons changed. The village watched the fields turn from green to gold and back again. Travelers came and went, but the master remained away. His servants left to their tasks. But then, one morning, before the sun had fully risen, a shout echoed across the hills. The master was returning. The news spread like wildfire. In every home, people whispered and wondered. The first servant stood ready, his hands full of the wealth he had gained. His heart raced, but it was the excitement of success. The second servant smiled quietly, holding his doubled treasure, prepared to show what he had done. But the third, his face turned pale as he remembered the place beneath the olive tree. Soon the master arrived. He came through the village gates with great splendor, his caravan trailing behind him like a river of silk and gold. The courtyard filled with neighbors, eager to witness what would unfold. The first servant approached, and all watched as he revealed the great fortune he had earned. The villagers gasped at the sight of it. 10 bags where once there were 5. Then came the second servant, presenting his doubled reward with calm pride. The crowd marveled at his wisdom and steady heart. But then, the third servant stepped forward. His hands were empty. The villagers leaned in, whispering as they watched him disappear outside the village gate. Moments later, he returned, dirt-stained and trembling, clutching the single coin he had buried long ago. His head hung low as he placed it before the master. The courtyard grew silent. That moment has never been forgotten. The first two servants were lifted high, celebrated for their boldness and faithfulness. The village rang with music and laughter as they joined the master's side, entrusted with even greater blessings. But the third faced a much different fate. His fear had cost him everything.
As the sun set and the crowds faded, the lesson remained, carved into every heart. The villagers spoke of it for generations. Some are given little, some are given much, but all are expected to use what they've been given with courage and faith. Burying gifts out of fear leads only to loss, but those who use their gifts wisely will find joy beyond measure. And so, to this day, the story is told. Be bold, be faithful, use what has been placed in your hands, because the day will come when the Master returns.